Hey you guys, it's Nicole and I'm here with Aaliyah, but she's sleeping right now. She's sleeping. So, you guys have been asking me, I've gotten a lot of people asking me to do a Meet Aaliyah video, and that is not what this video is about, but that video will be up very, very soon. I just want to get a video, I'll do that video when Aaliyah decides to be awake and alert because she likes to sleep a lot right now. This video is actually going to be me kind of telling you guys about my labor and delivery, and also telling you guys a few things that I noticed during labor and delivery that I wasn't expecting or that I didn't know. So first of all, what happened was I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning on December 26th, so the day after Christmas, and all day the day before I was having really bad backaches, like a really bad pain in my lower back all day on Christmas that felt like period pain. I was having contractions, and they were like to the point where I couldn't sleep, so I got up and I started timing them, and at first they were about 5 minutes apart, and then they went to 4 minutes apart, and then they were eventually 3 minutes apart consistently. I was kind of skeptical, like I didn't really think I was in labor because I had had so many false labors before, so I didn't really think I was in labor. When my mom got up, my mom got up at like 4:30, and I didn't even realize I had been up that long timing my contractions, and then she got up at like 4:30, and then my contractions had stayed consistent, so I told her, I think I'm in labor, like I've been having contractions all morning, like since 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're every 3 minutes. So she called the doctors and asked the hospital if they think that I should come in, and they did. They said that I should probably go in to get checked and monitored and stuff like that. So I went in, they checked me. I was only half a centimeter dilated still, and it was really painful. Like when they checked me, it hurt really bad for some reason, and every time they checked me, it would always make me have even more contractions, or even more painful contractions. And I told them I wanted to walk. So as I was walking, walking with my mom and Maggie and my brother, and the contractions started getting worse. Like they started getting way more painful to the point where I had to hold on to my mom. Eventually it got to the point where I needed to lay down. I couldn't stand anymore. I was in so much pain. And so they checked me again, and I was only I had dilated a little bit more, not even pretty much to a full centimeter. We went in at 4:30, and at this point it was 7 o'clock. As soon as I got admitted, and then my family showed up and all that, then that's when Maggie started recording for my labor and delivery video, and at that point I was 1.5 centimeters dilated, and then I was progressing really slowly. And something that I didn't know about labor is the contractions. Oh my god, they are so fucking painful. I always thought oh, you know what, contractions are gonna hurt, but they're not gonna be that bad. They fucking hurt so bad. Sorry, I'm trying to stop cussing around Aaliyah. Sorry, baby. The pain feels kind of like you're slowly ripping your arm off, and they get worse. As soon as they get to the point where you're okay, I can breathe through this, then they get worse, and then they get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse as you progress. And I was progressing really slowly. I was in labor for about 16 hours before I even reached 3 centimeters. So I was in labor for 16 hours before I got the epidural, and I was in excruciating pain. So finally, at 3 centimeters, they had the doctor come and break my water. And breaking my water didn't hurt. It kind of hurt because I was having contractions when they did it, and when he went in, like my vagina and stuff to do all that, then it hurt. But when he actually broke my water, it didn't hurt at all. And I think getting checked was way more painful. Like checking my cervix was way more painful than getting my water broke. But after my water broke, the contractions were 10 times more painful than they were before, and they were already killing me. I was in so much pain. Shortly after, they gave me the epidural, and something you should know is that the epidural, if you're having painful contractions, which you will be, the epidural is a piece of cake. Seriously, like, I leaned over and stuff, and the nurses kept, like, complimenting me. They're like, you're doing so good. Like, they were, like, all really impressed with how well I was handling everything, which I felt like I was handling everything like a little pussy. Like, I was sitting there, like, crying in pain and telling everybody, like, I'm sorry I'm being such a pussy. I'm sorry I'm being such a baby. And everybody's like, no, like, you're doing really, really well. And I just felt like the biggest baby in the world. After I got the epidural, something you should know also about the epidural is when you have the epidural, then it is a lifesaver because you don't feel the contractions in your stomach anymore. But when you have contractions, you feel the pressure down there, like you feel it down there. And so it's still really uncomfortable. And plus they put a catheter in your vagina so that you don't have to get up and go pee, you just pee. And it feels like, if you've ever had a bladder infection, it feels like a bladder infection. So it's still really uncomfortable, and I couldn't sleep when I had the epidural because I was so uncomfortable. And after I got the epidural and they had broken my water, my labor moved super fast after that. So after 16 hours I got my epidural, and shortly after I had the epidural I started feeling like I needed to push. Like every time I had a contraction, I felt like I needed to shit my pants. And apparently that's normal. Like, when you get a contraction, instead of feeling the contraction, you feel like you need to poop really, really badly. Like, you feel like you need to push. And then it gets to the point where it actually did hurt me. Like, even though I had the epidural, I was still in pain because I felt like I needed to poop, and I felt like I had an apple just sitting at the crown of my butthole. Like, that's how it felt. And I felt like I needed to poop really bad, and I kept telling them, like, I feel like I need to push, like, I feel like I need to poop, can I go poop? And they're like, no, like, the baby is right there, and she's, like, her head is pushing on your, rectum or whatever, like, your butt, so that's why it feels like you need to poop. And I just kept telling them, like, I seriously feel like I need to push. And, I was, like, dilated to an 8, and, they were, like, they checked me, and they're like, oh, you're dilated to an 8, and then, I was just telling them, like, I really feel like I need to push, and they were telling me, don't push, don't push, and I was like, I can't freaking help it, like, I can't help, I need to push. I dilated super, super quickly after I got the epidural. Then, I dilated really fast, and then, I was getting really pissed off because when I was ready to push, like, when they finally told me, like, oh, you're fully dilated, now all we're doing is waiting for the doctor, and I was just like, well, you better get him in here, because I'm going to push this baby out right now. And also, another thing you should know about the epidural is, this was just for me, I don't know if this happens to everybody, but, when I was pushing her out, I could feel everything down there. Like, it didn't numb down there, I could feel her coming out. And I felt everything down there. It just numbed the pain in my stomach. But when I was pushing her out, I could actually feel her coming out. I could feel, like, everything down there. And it hurt. Like, it hurt. It was really, really uncomfortable. I didn't expect that. Like, when I got the epidural, I thought that everything was going to be numb down there. And it wasn't. Like, I felt everything. But that's pretty much what happened. I was in labor for 19 hours, and Aaliyah was born at 9:53 at night, and I was in labor. I went into labor at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I was in labor for 19 hours, and for 16 hours of it I didn't have the epidural. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And I was really scared because the reason why she wasn't crying after she was born was because since she was overdue, like, she was past her due date, then she pooped while she was in the womb or whatever, and she swallowed some meconium or whatever it's called. She swallowed poop on the way out. So she had that stuff in her lungs, and that's why, that's why she wasn't crying. And I'm going to show her to you guys without her hat, because she looks completely different without her hat. Like, you would never be able to tell that she has dark hair. She has really dark, long hair, but her eyebrows are blonde. But yeah. So yeah, that's my labor and delivery story. So thanks for watching, you guys. Make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe, and request videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.